I'm going to show you how to take your list from PowerSchool and import it into your Google using a CSV file. So the first thing you need to do is once you log into PowerSchool, you need to go to a couple of different choices. You can go by browsing students, or you can browse by grade level, or you can also go over to teacher schedules over here. So I'm just going to click on Mr. Hubbard's name here, and it will pop up with all of his students. I'm going to just click on homeroom for this demonstration, and I have all of my students selected. I can just click on make current student selection, and then you will see all of your different possibilities for things you can do. You can set it up so that it has a ton of different features. What we're interested in for this is going to be list students. Now what I did ahead of time was we have an Excel spreadsheet or a document that is going to allow us to take our information and put it straight into the Excel spreadsheet, in which it will automatically generate their email addresses and a password. Now the passwords for middle school and high school students will be different than the elementary school students, so I'm just going to show you what it's going to look like. Now your field name, you want to for sure have the field name first underscore name, as I do here, and then right over here I have column title as first. The reason that is important, it shows up on your spreadsheet that way. And then you can do grade level if you want to, homeroom, lunch ID. And again, this is mainly geared towards the elementary school students, but it's applicable to the older students as well. Once I have my field names and column titles set, I'm just going to go down and I'm going to click on submit. This will pop up a list of all the students that are on Mr. Hubbard's list according to the parameters I just set for it. So what I want to do now is I want to simply highlight. I'm just going to highlight the whole list. Now if you had the list of 11th graders or 10th graders, you can highlight just certain people or however you would like to do it, but this I'm going to show you how to do for the whole class. So I'm going to do a right click, copy, then I'm going to go over to my Excel spreadsheet, and we will put this out in the T-share so you can get access to it. So now I'm going to open up the spreadsheet, and what the spreadsheet looks like, and the reason why we have our headings up here, these are our column titles, and they directly match with what we did in PowerSchool. So now that it's highlighted, I'm just going to simply do a right click, and I'm going to do a control V. Control V as in like control Velcro, and it will paste it. Now this message, you don't have to worry about it. I have it selected a little bit bigger than what it needs to be, which is fine. So I'm going to click OK, and then now it will automatically generate all of my students, their names, the grade, the teacher, their student ID numbers, email addresses. Now again, if you're at the middle school or high school level, that will be a little bit different for the passwords, but you kind of get the idea of how this is going to fill in. Now a very crucial step in what you need to do is once you have this spreadsheet, you need to save as. So I'm going to go File, I'm going to go Save As. Now what you would want to do is you'd want to find out where you want to save this. So I'm just going to click on, I'm just going to save this for right now. I'm just going to save it on my desktop. You would put it in Documents and save it in a safe spot underneath My Documents. I'm just going to save this underneath my desktop. I'm just going to put Hubbard. Now what you need to do is you need to change where it says Excel Workbook, and I want to put this into what's called a CSV. The reason you do that is when you upload your contacts to Google, you have to have a CSV file. It's also important if you're going to use the Doctopus to have everything set up ahead of time. So I want to do CSV, and I'm going to simply click Save. I can read through that if I need to, or I can just hit OK. I'm going to read through that if I need, then I'm just going to hit Yes. Now what I want to do is I'm going to exit out, and it will ask you one more time. I just always safely hit Save, hit Yes one more time. It's going to exit me out. What we can do now is go to your drive or to Google. I'm just going to log into Google. What I can do is go to my contacts, and when I'm at contacts, I already have mine set up, So I'm just going to kind of show what it will look like when it loads here. I'm going to go all the way down here. I'm going to add new group. Now new group, I'm just going to put practice. Since I've already done this a few times, I'm going to put practice. You'll see practice will pop up right over here. Then I want to import my student list that I just created. So I'm going to click on more. I'm going to go down to import. Then I'm going to choose the file. Then I need to find my CSV file that I just saved. You would look underneath My Documents wherever you saved it. Mine is right here where it has Hubbard. It says comma separated. That's the CSV. So I'm going to do a double click. And then I'm going to click on Import. This sometimes takes just a little bit of time. And the reason you'll see these up here is because when I saved it, it actually had those extra ones. I'm just going to simply click here, and I'm just going to hit the, let's see, I can delete those later, so I'm not going to worry about those right now. Just uncheck those. Those aren't a big deal for now. What I do want to do is I want to make sure they're in the correct spot. So I'm just going to click right here. I want to get them in the correct position or correct contact group. I don't want them in my contacts anymore. I do want them in that folder or the contact that says practice, just because we're practicing right now. And I'm going to click on apply. What you'll notice happen is it took you out of your my contacts and it's going to put them in your practice. Now you have 26 students. The imported 81613, that's because that's what you just imported. So I can click right there and I can simply click on do all of them, and I want to uncheck where it says imported, and I'm going to apply. That way it takes it out of the imported, and now what I can do is I can just simply click more, delete group. Now you'll notice right over here I have my list set up. I have my practice list right here. From there, what you can do is after you watch the Doctopus video, then you can simply copy and paste. So for instance, if I have this, I can just highlight, go back here real quick. I can do a Control A to control all of it if I want, or I can just simply click on what the Doctopus needs. Is it needs their first name, last name, and email address. So you need to kind of figure out if you can highlight the whole thing here. Sometimes it lets you highlight the whole thing, sometimes it doesn't. So what you can do is you can highlight just the email addresses and you can put it in. And what the Doctopus tells you to do is you need to open up a new spreadsheet. So you would just simply go back to My Drive and you're going to create, go to spreadsheet, and according to the Doctopus, the first column should say first name, second column says last name, and third column says email address. Then what you would do is you'd go back to your list, or you can go back to your CSV file that you had, which is really easy to do. I'll just pull it up that way. So I'm going to, I saved mine on my desktop, so I'm going to open that up. And the nice thing is once you save this once, you have it forever. So I'm just going to highlight my students' names. I'm going to do a right click copy, go right back to where I want this, and I'm going to do a Control V, Control Velcro, and it pastes it in there right there. Then I can go right back. I can grab my email addresses. I want to stop there. I want to do a copy, and I want to go back to where I just was. I can do a Control V, and it will paste in. And you notice I copied an extra column. I don't need that one, so I'm just going to wipe that column out. That was for our formula that we can use. So now you have the Doctopus set up. What I would do right away is I would then go up and I would title it class roster. Once you have that set up, you want to make a copy. Go File, make a copy, and you can call it Class Roster 2 or something else. That way you always have this set up. Hopefully that helped. Thank you very much.